What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about how to unlock the secret Invader Archetype. So if you're someone who really likes to kind of teleport all over the battlefield, you like to get some big damage increases, and if you're someone who likes more like a rogue type of gameplay, the Invader, I think, is going to be a really good fit for you. So there's some pretty cool stuff that you can do with this one. So just taking a quick tour here through the skills, the perks, and the trait, and then we'll jump straight into how we get it. If you want to skip all of this, I do have timestamps down below, so you can just jump straight into the path on how to find this thing. Okay, so here we have our skills. So from a skills perspective, the first one you're going to get is called Void Cloak. This is going to cause you to automatically perfect dodge any incoming direct damage for 60 seconds. Now, each auto evade will reduce the timer of auto evade on the damage absorbed, and it's going to spawn a decoy for 3 seconds. Then we have Wormhole. This is going to kind of teleport you all over the battlefield. So you're going to warp through, and you're going to have a 300% increased damage for your melee or ranged attack within 5 seconds. And then holding the skill is going to allow you to target where you want to warp. So if you want to warp behind a specific elite, you can click and hold the skill, you can target that elite and teleport behind them. When you do, again, you're going to get that 300% increased damage for 5 seconds, so you need to use it quick. And then lastly, we have Reboot. This one can be a little confusing the first time you read through it, so I'll try to break it down for you. So when you use this skill, what it's going to do is it's going to take a snapshot of your current health, your stamina, relic charges, ammo, and negative status effects. This is going to be stored for 30 seconds. Now, while that snapshot is active, so for those 30 seconds, you're going to have a 15% increased movement speed and 10% increased damage reduction. And you can go play the game, do whatever you want for these 30 seconds. When you reactivate that skill, it's going to set you back to that state, and it's going to spawn a decoy. So if you have 100% health, 100% ammo, 100% everything, you snapshot that, you go and you're fighting and you're doing all this stuff and you wipe out, you know, a bunch of elites or something, and then you need to go back to that previous state. You can click this skill again and you'll be back to 100% ammo, 100% health, 100% stamina. So that's just a way you can go about it. So it's sort of a nice little get out of jail free card for some situations, but this is a very powerful skill. I'm curious to see how people use it. Then we have perks. So for your perks, we have Shark. This is going to cause sprinting or evading to add 1 stack of momentum. Now, momentum is going to increase your ranged and melee damage by 0.7% for 15 seconds. It's going to stack up to 5 times. Then we have Loophole, which is going to cause any ally range and melee damage against enemies that are distracted by your decoy to get a 5% base damage as lifesteal. So again, just a great team perk, especially for those players like myself who just take a ton of damage. Then we have a Circumvent, which is going to reduce the cost of evade and combat slide by 10%. And lastly, Override. So using a relic is going to drop your threat generation, and while Override is active, your next evade is going to leave an empowered decoy for 4 seconds. So from a perk standpoint, I really like the kind of lineup we have here. I think these are well-rounded. Then in the trait, we have Untouchable, which is going to increase your evade window by 3%, and this obviously is going to gain levels as your Invader Archetype gains levels as well. So it's a pretty cool one, but let's talk about how we can go and actually get it. So for number one, you do have to have the Dreamcatcher melee weapon. This is a prerequisite. Without that, you're not going to be able to get this archetype. So you need to make sure you go get it. I do have a video guide on that. You can go check that out. It's pretty simple to get once you know the steps, but it is a longer sort of process in order to get it. Okay, so let's talk about how we can actually get this thing. So one, you need to be in Corrupted Harbor on Root Earth. Once you're in Corrupted Harbor on Root Earth, here's Ashen Wasteland. You want to just work your way all the way through the map until you reach this point, which is the entrance to this big ship. So we can see we do have a checkpoint right here in front of us, and that's going to be the thing you need to kind of pay attention to. Okay, so let's get started. So from here, you want to enter the ship, let's jump up. Once you get to this checkpoint, you want to take a right. So the process here is you want to continue sort of going down and down until you get to the bottom of the ship. So once we drop down here, you want to come into this room with all of these pipes. Enemies will come out of the pipes, so be aware for that. And continue moving through the pipe room until you reach the end. Take a left, and you're going to reach this room, the engine room. When you reach the engine room, take a right, and you want to go through this door here, and then continue moving through these, and then you'll see this big hole in the wall. Go through that. What you want to see is this guy right here with the blue fog around his face. Now, this whole area here is going to be just riddled with enemies. You will have an elite, 1 or 2 of them to deal with, but once you're ready to go and you've wiped everything out, you can go up to this guy here and you just want to melee. What you'll do is you'll grab all of that and you'll get this consumable called Walker's Dream. Once you get the Walker's Dream, you want to go into your inventory. You want to quick slot this, so here. And then once you do that, you want to use it. This is going to teleport you to another realm where you're going to have to fight a boss enemy called Bane. Curious if mine's up because I've already killed him, but we'll see. So again, we're back at this checkpoint. We want to go to the same area we were just in. There is a giant walker, the same one that you saw. We need to kill him as well as a bunch of other elites. But once you do, you're gonna get the wooden shiv. At that point, you take that back to Wallace and he gives you the Invader Archetype. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Is this gonna be one you're going to use? And how can you pair it with some of the cool stuff that Remnant 2 has for us? Thanks again. I'll talk to you guys next time.